Hello everyone. In the last class, we spoke about AI universe, the traditional AI/ML versus the generative AI/ML. So we explained a use case example with respect to traditional AI/ML, which we saw theoretically. We will be covering that in a lab practice later. Similarly, we are going to see the Gen AI/ML, like where like LLM is going to use, because under Gen AI only the LLM concept will come. So I will be explaining what is LLM. So you just have to remember that till now we have theoretically covered traditional AI/ML in cybersecurity with a use case example of finding spam email or a normal email, and then now we'll see LLM and how the LLM concept comes under the generative AI, because the name generative indicates that it is creating or generating some output from like text input or whatever be the input. It is creating its own entity with respect to any data type, either image, video, presentation, whatever it is. It will be coming under the generative AI concept, and LLM is the actual initiator or a driver in what it is achieving it. Let's see what it is. What is LLM? Language model, large language model. What does it do? A large language model, in the sense, it will a human is giving a text input to the LLM. This LLM is going to process your requirement and it is going to give the output. This is the LLM. So the conversion of your input text data and then converting the requirement, the actual requirement, converting that actual requirement or processing that actual requirement and giving the output is done by large language model. What are large language models? You can say like ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a large language model. Now you have like so many large language models like Sora, each having its own significance or like specialization in processing. So after Sora we have ElevenLabs, Gamma, Black Box, Claude, Gemini from Google, and then NVIDIA, Omniverse, and then you have what else? ElevenLabs. Yeah, each tool is going to give its own use case. Say for example, ChatGPT can give you whatever query you give, it will give the answer. Like any concept related, like if you have any doubts, you can just put it in that ChatGPT. It will be giving you the answer, like question and answers. Sora is also part of OpenAI, because ChatGPT and Sora is part of OpenAI company. So Sora is the one which will be giving images and pictures. You can just input the text. As we mentioned here, we can input the text. The text is converted into the data format which you are requesting for, which is images and pictures in the Sora AI platform. And ElevenLabs, it's text to audio, or even like changing the audio. Say for example, I am giving a portion or a passage of text. It will be converting that into a human readable voice and then give you the output. Even it can even change the voice. Say for example, I am going to give the my voice written text or passage. It can convert that voice written text or passage into a celebrity or a leader. So that's how it has become the powerful it has become. And then Gamma is like very good for presentation, PowerPoint presentations. Black box is like going to give you a very summarized view. If you have like very big concept, then you can put that into the black box tool AI. It will summarize into a very good, very short description format. Claude is also like agentic. Agentic means like you have AI agents, so you will be deploying AI agents, and then you can create a flow wise or a workflow. Say for you can say like similar to Jenkins CI/CD pipeline, right? So we can create an agent in that Claude, and then you can run a workflow. Say for example, you want to send an email to a particular person, you deploy that agents in that Claude. You can send a repeatable task one day after the other. Once you set that flow, similar to a CI/CD pipeline, and then Gemini is something like normal. You can generate video, you can generate text, similar to ChatGPT. I can say similar to ChatGPT. And NVIDIA Omniforce will create 3D models. You can create 3D models from NVIDIA Omniverse. So these are all like use cases with respect to each AI tool or like LLMs. So now let's see how does LLM works. Okay. Now you have your own machine. From your machine, you go to the browser, type chatgpt.com. Correct. So in the browser you go and visit. In the browser you type chatgpt.com. Once you enter chatgpt.com, there will be a search bar to put your query. Say for example, my query is what is AI? So this is a LLM. ChatGPT is a LLM. So from your machine, you are going to browser, and from the browser you navigate to ChatGPT. In the ChatGPT search box, you are typing what is AI. So till now you are feeding the input to the you are feeding input to the LLM. So now how does LLM will process it? Let's see in detail. So generally, when you are feeding an input to LLM, say for example in our case it's going to be ChatGPT, it should be in a form that the LLM should be understanding. So in what format does LLM will be understanding? LLM will be understanding only if it's in a prompt form. So how do you get that prompt? So you understand that in ChatGPT you have given like what is AI question mark. So now this particular words, what is AI question mark, will be converted into individual tokens. So say for example this is token 1, this is token 2, this will be token 3, this will be token 4. So all these individual characters or individual words are converted into individual tokens. And now this token will be, all these individual token will be considered as a on the whole as token, and this token has to embed to convert into a form called prompt. So this token should be embedded into a prompt form. As I said earlier, because ChatGPT will be understanding only in the prompt form. So now you have given the you are going to give the input what is AI. That what is AI is converted into tokens, individual tokens first, and then on the whole it is combined or embedded into tokens. And this token is like now going through encoding process or encoded process. This is called encoding, just like you can say like encapsulation, decapsulation process in OSI layer. So that is now encoded. Now this encoded data will be represented as prompt. PROMPT, prompt. And now it is fed into LLM, our ChatGPT. So till now you understood, I believe. Okay, just to summarize, so from our machine, we went to the browser, type chatgpt.com. From the browser, the chatgpt.com got navigated and we visited the site. Once the site is presented, we went into the ChatGPT search box. We typed what is AI. So what will happen? This what is AI will be converted into individual tokens like token 1, token 2, token 3, token 4, representing each word in that query. All these individual tokens will be embedded into a single format, and then it will be fed as a prompt to the LLM, because the LLM only understands prompt format, not the normal query format. Just like a DNS resolution, if you type google.com, the purpose of the significance of typing google.com in the browser is because to resolve that domain into an IP address, because computer system understand only the IP address. Similarly, LLM will be understanding only the prompt format. So now you tokens, individual tokens, token embedded into prompt form, fed into LLM. So till now we are clear. So what will happen inside LLM? So let's say this is our LLM. So I've just put it here just to have a in-depth view of it. So there are like three main functions like LLM is going to perform, especially with respect to ChatGPT. One is predictive. Second, fine-tune. And third, generative. So these are the main functions performed by ChatGPT and how it categorizes each query or each prompts. So let's say in our first scenario, we have typed what is AI. So these generic query, this ChatGPT should be already having that information, correct? So since it has the existing data, it can directly send this query into the predictive function. Okay. Now, if I want to create my resume, I just go and type create a cybersecurity resume for me. So this has to generate. It has to generate based upon the contents which I am going to give. So this will go to the generative function. Correct. Generative function. Now, if I don't like the resume given by the ChatGPT, I can just regenerate that resume by clicking on or by selecting a different GPT. So what is GPT? GPT is Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So ChatGPT has its own transformer version in performing the task. So every version, every model or every tool, it has its own version. So the fundamental or the basic version would be one. So currently the GPT version, the ChatGPT is currently into 4.0, and they have started implementing into 4.1 the beta version, and now they are like going to 5.0 version, which will be launched soon. So these are the components. So the functions, the transformers, all these combined form the ChatGPT or the large language model. So the functions, the transformers together form the LLM model. Function plus transformers together form the LLM model. Hope you guys understood till now. So we saw two examples. First one, what is AI? That is going to the predictive functionality, and then second thing, create resume. It is going to the generative generative function. And then now we'll see third example. Let's say I didn't like, as I said, I didn't like my resume, right? Like I didn't like my resume in like what ChatGPT has generated for me. I can just request the ChatGPT to please fine tune my generated resume. It will again perform this task, but since it has already have the existing data within itself, it is not going to again go and generate it. It might go to the fine tune functionality and then give you the output. So that will be like fine tuning concept with respect to the functionality given in the large language model. So these and all like going to work based upon the existing data, and then with like also like large language model, the LLM model, as connectivity towards internet. So there is a different concept called RAG. I will come into that, but that is like little bit more different thing. That will be like when the LLM model is not having the real time data, we have to feed the data. That comes under the RAG. Maybe I will cover this in later topics or in the later session. But as of now, this is the overview picture of the understanding of the LLM model operation. I would like to add one more information. So basically, we saw about LLM, but just to add few information with respect to transformer. So what does transformer do? So transformer actually like handles the request, right? You categorize the queries or the prompts into different sections like predictive, fine tuning, generative, and all. But apart from that, this control, this information which is going to be fed to the fed by the LLM is done by the transformer. Let's say for an example, we have given in our scenario like what is AA as the query, and then that query is converted into prompt. Query is converted into tokens and then embedded and then encoded and then fed into the LLM as a prompt, and then finally that inbuilt function is done. Processing is done like predictive, fine tuning, or generative. After categorizing in that particular function, transformer like will be like giving you the output. Like it is then processed as the output, and then it will be giving the product output value. So that is like decoding. Now what significance does transformer play? Like let me give an example. Now in our scenario we have inputted as what is AI. Let's say my question was what is AI in math. That is one probability. Second probability, let's say what is pi in math. So there are two questions. So entire characters or like the words are matching except for these two variables A and P, but the question itself totally changes. So the transformer should have or like possesses that capability to segregate among these questions. So based upon your repetitive question flow or the query flow or the prompt flow to the LLM, it will decide, since you are like already learning with respect to artificial intelligence, it may take a preference of first question. But generally if you are a new user and if you are typing or like if your very first prompt is what is pi in math, this particular prompt will be accepted or like will be chosen by the transformer to process the output. I hope you get it. So the difference will be evaluated by the transformer and will be evaluated by the transformer and will be given as the output. So these and all like are all working on the pre-existing data or like generative data, in the sense like it has, say for example, you are going to generate resume, ChatGPT is aware of the resume format pretty much. Almost any templates or recent templates or trending templates it has, so it will get the data from its existing function. But if at all you are going to give a new data, or new data in the sense new query, which is like not vested within the LLM or the transformer function of the ChatGPT model, it has to be fed to that LLM through RAG, which I said earlier. Like, we are going to learn that later. Maybe the abbreviation would I can say it as retrieval augmented generation. This is the abbreviation of RAG. So in this, you are going to feed the data to the LLM, and then it will store the data. That will be covering later. But as of now, let me give a overview or like a walkthrough. So we uh, discussed about what is LLM, different types of LLM, what are the available LLMs to uh, extract your user defined output. Say for example, be it images, PPTs, summary, or 3D models. All these, you have several tools, and like there are many tools coming up to replace the actual uh, big things, big LLM models like ChatGPT, Sora. There are like several competitors upcoming to replace the original OpenAI or the original LLM models. So we saw LLM, we saw the different types of LLM and the use cases, and now we saw how the query will be generated towards the LLM model, and now that query is converted into tokens, and now the query is like combined into a single, embedded into a single token, and that embedded token is encoded as a prompt and then fed into the LLM, and then finally the inside the ChatGPT LLM, we have like different functions: predictive, fine tune, predictive, fine tune, generative, and we saw examples like with respect to predictive, generative, and then even fine tune as well. And then finally we saw what is example use case of with respect to transformer. How does transformer provides that functionality for the LLM to work effectively, and then finally how we are getting the output. And then also we saw the last part as REG, which we'll be covering in the upcoming class. Okay guys, now let's go to the fun part of AI. So I go to google.com, I just visit chatgpt.com, or I can just put like chatgpt.com, or I've already opened the chatgpt.com here. So with our example, we typed what is AI, right? So this was a question. So each character words is like converted into tokens, each individual tokens. What token 1 is token 2, AI token 3, question mark token 4, and then all these 4 tokens are like embedded into a single encoded into a single prompt, and then now we are feeding this input into the ChatGPT LLM. And now let's see what does this ChatGPT LLM does. You're seeing the output of the input which you have given, the prompt which you have given, because our query should be converted into the prompt, and now LLM is able to understand our prompt or query, and now it has given this output. So here you can see this is a predictive functionality, because ChatGPT aware of what is AI is, so that's the reason it has given this particular output. Now at the bottom of this screen, at the bottom of this output, you can see auto GPT-4004 mini, GPT-4.1 mini. So these are all the transformers. So in the previous I mean, few minutes ago we just had a walkthrough of the transformers. How does transformer perform its functionality? So it is able to differentiate what is AI and pi. Say for example, we took a example of what is AI in math and also what is PI in math. So AI in math is artificial intelligence in maths domain, whereas what is PI in math is PI is a functional formula of mathematics 3.3 colon 14, or the 3 is to 14 ratio. So 3 is to 4, 3 is to 14, sorry, 22 by 7. So that difference, the transformer has that capability, it has that capability to differentiate. So that's it. So now with a simple query we got a this much of content. Say for example, I just want to convert this into a wonderful PPT. I just go to gamma.ai ppt, and that too guys, these are all like free version. So I'll just go to create new, I just go to paste, and then I just paste this content here, and I just wait. So yeah, I can select the layout, and now continue to prom editor. Why does it take time? Okay, I just selected the right format, and I go to the continue prompt editor, and you see all these contents, right? I can select like whichever amount of text I want: minimal, concise, detail, extensive. I'll choose extensive. And trust me guys, I generated this PPT content for this for this AI training series from AI only, like the Gamma AI. So it will create presentation in a matter of few seconds, even not even minutes. So if I select, I can just select how many ever cards I want. Say if I want 2 cards, if I want 8 cards, I can just select that, and then I can just click on continue, and then I can just select customize, which I've customized for my presentation. I select that and I click on generate. That's it. I'm done with my PPT presentation in a matter of few seconds. Maybe just count like 30 seconds. You will be able to get your PPT done. Okay, the 30 seconds got over. I think it must be done by now. Yeah, and then you can right click on this, and then you can export in whichever format you like: PDF, PowerPoint, Google Slide, and PNG. So we saw what is ChatGPT, how can you extract that content into a PPT, and now let's see, we can use Canva tool to create or generate images, like say for example artificial intelligence. I select Canva AI, I go and click on this next option. I think I should be selecting the presentation, a design for me, and then I'll put artificial intelligence. I should select design for me as well as Canva AI. Presentation. Now it will generate some presentation. So within matter of seconds it will generate that presentation format, whichever you in whichever domain or whichever topic you like. If you like this, you can select, you can just scroll, you can just click on more design, just click on more design, it will generate with respect to this similar design, something like that. So we covered ChatGPT, we covered PPT part, we covered like generating a presentation templates format. Now let's go back to ChatGPT. So this is Sora AI. This is part of ChatGPT or the OpenAI company only. So if I click on Sora, it is responsible for generating images or like gifs or like small videos. So if I go and type robo create high definition video for with robot speaking to human. Oh, okay. Now the image will be generated and you can see the progress here. Once it is done, you can see that in my media. Let's wait for some time. Till then we can switch over to the other thing, that is ElevenLabs. So ElevenLabs is responsible for converting your text into audio, which means you give some passage or a paragraph, it will convert that instant paragraph into a voice, whichever voice you like. You can even input, you can just give your own voice as an input. That voice will be converted into that text. So these are all my real voice. So I just want to talk about that. I mean, you notify that. So we covered ChatGPT, we covered PPT, we covered image, we covered voice. What's more left? And black box is also there. Black box is another AI which will be giving like summarized view. Say for example, give me some information about artificial intelligence. It will give a summarized view. Just ChatGPT gives like very extensive output or information. This will be short and crisp, in crisp format. And there is another, about Google VO. Google VO is also very powerful, but currently I don't have any subscription. But you can just get it from if you have a student ID. They just give like 20,000 worth of Google VO access. You can try from there also. This is one more site which you can get it. And also in video, we can generate video. From this also you can generate video. So these are some of the useful LLMs which will be we're giving only input as a text, but you're getting different forms of output. So that's the capability of LLM now. And right now these are like a generative part of AI. There is another whole different domain like agentic AI and AI agents. So that we will be covering in like future lessons, because we have to go through a lot in between. So I think we have covered or a fun part with respect to AI tools, ChatGPT, Sora. Yeah, I think we forgot to get that output, right? Sora. Yeah, you can see, right? So we put a query like create high definition video with speaking to human. So it gave me the output. Maybe Sora is, I think I selected only the image format. I should have selected video. Maybe I'll put that as well. Why you want to leave that as well? Oh, I have to upgrade. No, I cannot do that. Okay, fine. So you got it right. So ChatGPT for almost every use case, Sora for image to video, Canva, you can generate templates. Even Canva is like you can generate videos, images, but Canva is like especially used for the presentation. Gamma is another one. I have pretty much used all these tools in the free version to get the content or put it in the content format. And apart from that, black box, Gemini I didn't use, and in video also I didn't use. So these are the concepts with respect to the tools with respect to AI LLM models. You do please try that and get some fun. And now let's in further classes or the further sessions we will be talking about AI cybersecurity use cases along with the respective models, algorithm. And one more important thing, before maybe the models and algorithm, we need to go through or touch base with respect to Python, because all AIML with respect to cybersecurity or AIML is going to work based upon the Python. So we'll focus on Python maybe in the next session. Thank you.